we're gonna move on to hand modeling. So you need to understand like how the hand is actually shaped. So this is a picture of hand, and as you can see, like there is 5 finger. Okay, so again, the plan is to make 1 finger, right? Then we're gonna copy over and adjust it accordingly, as rather create the finger from scratch. Okay, so you need to and at the same time you need to observe, like, so this region is actually like a bigger portion, right? It's a smaller portion, and I have like a comparison. So again, as I mentioned, like this is the big chunk of your palm, and it's very big and meaty, and this is like a much more flatter region, and there's also a bit of like a notch here, or like a small bump. Okay, so this is just references. And again, like when you want to model something, you have to kind of like understand and look at references. So this is another example of the human hand references. And again, like if you look at this region, right, the back of your hand, so this is pretty much like square-ish, and if you look at on the side, it's like a square, but it's not perfectly straight, so it kind of goes up a little bit, so there is a slope happening here. Okay, so there's something that you need to kind of model, okay, in your character, so that way your character will look a bit more real. Okay, and again, when it comes to thumb, right, there is a little bit of extra treatment. So you cannot just put a thumb like that, because if you look at the thumb, it's actually like rotate on 45 degrees, right? And also it's being placed like not perfectly straight, so it's about like 45 degrees also on the slope. Okay, then you can place the thumb, then combine and merge. Okay, so something that you need to take into consideration. And again, one thing that you need to be mindful when it comes to topology is that, you see, this is my hand modeling in the first picture, and if you look at the topology, right, this one, alright, there's this line that goes around and cut through the thumb, and it goes around. Okay, so this topology, it's still okay, but when it comes to UV later, alright, then you're going to have a separation. So this region will become the top or the back of the palm, and whereas this bottom one, right, will become the palm region. Then you're going to have like a separation when it comes to UV, right, which I don't find that it's a really good idea. So what I like to do is that I actually like to place the UV here. So again, this area should be the back of the palm, right? So the skin here has a different texture as compared to your palm, right? So the back of the skin texture is different from your palm. That's why I like to put the UV here, and then I can rotate my model, or my thumb rather. So all the edge loop here is placed nicely. Okay, as compared to this one, because this one goes through and cut, right, and it's not nice. Okay, so I like to place it like that, then I rotate the thumb later. Okay, and again, as I mentioned before, I make the finger separately, right? I make 1 finger, then once I make a really good finger, then I can duplicate the finger, then combine with the palm. Okay, and again, it's much easier when you count how many vertex in each finger, so that way you can place like the necessary edge loop when it comes to combining the hand. Okay, and again, don't forget to rotate twice for the thumb, because the way the thumb is placed in your hand, it's different from the normal finger, where you can just like place and connect easily. Okay, and again, when it comes to hand modeling, this is probably one of the hardest part to model. And do mindful about the topology. Okay, this is just one way of me doing the topology. Okay, and at the same time, you need to consider about this edge loop. So whenever you see like a joint where you can bend, you need to put at least 3 lines. So in this region, your finger can bend, so you put 3 lines. Also this one, you put 3 lines, so that way you can maintain its shape when it's bending. Okay, if you put not enough line, then when it comes to rigging, again, things might be broken. Okay, and this, going back to the topology, so I actually route this line. So as rather than going all the way to your wrist area, I actually like turn this topology rather, so that way like I save a lot of line that goes from your palm to the wrist. Okay, it'll make more sense when actually doing your hand modeling later. Okay, again, this is a cartoon hand example. So in this assignment, I think CA1, you are supposed to do stylized. So this kind of hand modeling are still okay, though I prefer this area to be a little bit more meaty, because again, in the reference we have that this region are supposed to be quite big, right? And this one is supposed to be flat, which is correct, but it just this region here need to be a little bit more rounded and meaty, right? To get more meat and all muscle around there. Okay, so another comparison between the hand modeling and to the realistic one. Okay, so in this assignment, maybe we should go for more easy example, which is this stylized character as compared to that one. Okay, so this is just some reference that you may want to have a look. You can also get this slide from the Blackboard.